So here's something fun that happened.
Okay.
So and I think you saw me mess with this.
No,
before,
Eliza,
just give me a second.
okay, we can't.
Getting something.
When you're over
I did.
here, we
It
can't
happened.
hear
I
you.
reached.
Ask me. Ask Eliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions.
I bought this mixer, like this controller, when I first started, which was like a month
Your
ago.
baby one.
Sierra always comes in and wants to touch my CDJs, and I'll let her press like a button, but if I'm working on something, I'm like, I really can't have your baby hands all over it. So I hand her this so she can work on it. It's not plugged in. And then I told her, I was like, I will plug it into the computer so that you can mess with it. And I let her. I would love to report back that she fully understood it and was like mixing music. No, it was this song called The Rivers of Babylon, and all she did was slow it down and speed it up multiple times. But what I thought was cool was she was pressing all these buttons and she would say like, why can't I hear it? What happened? And I have been working hard at this long enough that I effortlessly was like, it's that, it's your fade, it's your gain. Like I was just like able to help and assess it. Cause when I first started, sometimes you can't hear something's wrong and you're looking at your board. You're like, what is wrong? What is wrong? And I just knew, like I instinctively just like knew what buttons to press. And that was just very cool feeling for me in my very limited experience as a DJ. Are you now not talking? Because I told you not to talk.
Is that the Hercules or is the other one the Hercules?
That's the Hercules and
the baby one.
I don't know if that's annoying to hear because Hunter sent me a video of some quote unquote comic, like some kid that's been doing it like 6 months. And in the video, he was like, I tried like weaving in and out of material and crowd work. And I was really interested to see how that went. Like there is something annoying to watching someone who's brand new at something discover it as if they're doing well. Sort of the way I roll my eyes at anything Gen Z discovers that they consider vintage or that they do. And I'm like, that's cool. We already did that. I'm sure in the way our parents feel that way about me. But if you're a DJ out there, just know I was really impressed with myself. Just showing off my skills to my 4-year-old daughter.
That sounds like a really fun thing for her to get to do, though, is like to start to figure those out and problem solve and like hear music in a different way. That seems really fun.
Yeah, it would be if she were musically inclined, but it really is just her fucking with a bunch of buttons and not really understanding what's going on, which is also fine. I think we're so used to seeing kids on YouTube that are like DJing at 3. And like, I think Justin Bieber could play the drums at 1 or something.
Yeah.
I think it's normalized that you'd have a kid that's a genius when really the internet makes it seem like it's everyone. And also like, it's very normal to have kids who are not like great at anything for a very long time. So like, that would be cool. And I would welcome that. But I think we all like go into it hoping our kid's going to like pick up something and be like, Mom, I see colors and numbers in terms of shapes. And you're like, oh my God, what's this special thing? What's that? You can do a handstand? I don't have that immigrant parent mentality where my kid has to like be great at something immediately. I'm like, we're fine. You don't need to learn chess or gymnastics.
It'll be interesting to see what happens with her musical ear because Noah's dad is like big time music producer and his stepdad is a musician.
And Noah has exposed her. It's actually in the Slow Sunday we did for Father's Day. I shared one of Noah's playlists because he's always exposing her to like different kind of music. You know, we don't do a lot of like baby music. I do want her to be the cool girl that already knew about the band that some guy is trying to tell her about. Like when a girl really knows music, it's very cool versus like, I'm the girlfriend of the drummer, so I think I know death metal. There is that thing online where people are like teaching my daughter to cook so she's not impressed by your crusty son. And it's like, I don't need it to be that aggressive. I just want her to be like, yeah, I knew who Leonard Cohen was.
Crusty.
I didn't. Crusty. People are so mean to other future kids on the internet. Like teaching my daughter self-defense so she's not impressed by your loser fucking simp son. You're just like,
so
what?
She can beat the shit out of him.
Internet parenting stuff is so cringy. And like, I think we're getting to a place now where we're able to look back at content and be like, wow, that was really sad. Like I for sure made a TikTok where I did like a reveal. Like it was like when it first came out and you're in COVID and like, and then you're just like, look how good I look. But like, I don't know, I find a lot of internet content to be women in their late 30s, early 40s, like dying to prove like, and I still got it. Like, do I show videos of myself doing Pilates? For sure. But I've always shown myself working out. But like, you'll never see me do a video of me like kissing my husband and being like my support system. Like, what is that?
I would be really scared
just say
if
you're
I saw
cheating
that.
on him. What?
I would reach out and be like, are you okay? Is everything
Oh my
good?
God. There was one yesterday where it was a girl on a and no, I don't think these are fake. Like, I think these are staged content and they're doing it earnestly. Like, I don't think anybody who makes these things is emotionally intelligent enough to be like, I'm doing a parody of. And she was like in a skirt and oh my God, it was so awful. And she was dancing on her kitchen counter with like the lights dim and candles lit, and her guy was cooking. And the caption was something like, he cooks, I dance. And she kept like kissing him. Like, look at me, I'm a free spirit. I'm dancing on a countertop in our rental. Like, that's so, I hate to say cringy, but it's just so weird to let people in on an intimate moment and act like you're not aware that the camera is there. And yes, we do buy into it for a lot of content, but being demonstrably romantic to prove that like you have a solid relationship is the opposite of a solid relationship.
I'm just imagining if Noah's like hard at work in the kitchen on testing recipes and you just went in and were like,
He'd be so annoyed.
quiet. Yeah, but get out of my way.
He'd be like, please, my hands are covered in raw chicken, please.
Let me get, and you're just dancing in front of the sink.
God, I can't talk about this here because I'm going to talk about it in my stand-up, but I have like a particular amount of ire reserved. You know what? No, I can't talk about it.
Oh, okay. Well, people
Maybe it should be the Patreon. My Patreon wasn't going to be, oh, that's my bottom of the cob. My Patreon was going to be all about my high cholesterol.
You have so many little bits planned.
I wanted to take this very seriously. Anyways.
Post-its, the most serious.
I'm ready for a new internet.
Wait.
What?
Oh, you pulling out a Post-it movie. Are you excited for Romeo and Michelle 2?
I am excited for Romeo and Michelle too. I'm going to try to get invited to that premiere.
Oh my God.
Okay. Oh, a Post-it.
You gotta go. Yeah, because you pulled
and
out your
because
Post-its.
of Janine Garofalo, we all know who invented Post notes. Remember?
Post-its. Yeah. Alan
Who?
Fry at the 3M Corp.
Are you sure it was Alan Fry, not Art Fry?
No.
Glenn, can you be the tiebreaker? I'm pretty sure it was Art Fry. We studied it in business school.
I'm Googling it. Art.
Only one of us memorizes words for a living.
I love that movie so much. But did you see they're bringing Janine Garofalo back? They're bringing Cameron Manheim back.
How could you not? There's 5 characters in that movie.
I know, but I'm so excited. So
The titular characters and then like 3 other people. It's going to be great.
on my poster, I have a signed Romeo and Michelle poster signed by Mira Sorvino. And I have a little signed Post-it on it where she wrote, I invented Post-its, and signed it.
I love it. I invented Post-its. Anyways, if you're young and you're listening, you've never seen it, go watch it because it is the basis of a movie that I just wrote that hopefully we're going to get to make. And to me, it is the quintessential female best friend comedy.
It's brilliant. I'm really excited because my friend does my coworker does like a movie night, an online movie night every Friday night, my old coworker.
Is it mandatory?
No, and it's at 10 my time. So sometimes I'm just like have a movie on my phone in bed and I'm just like passed out. But this Friday is Romeo and Michelle and I'm really excited.
It's great. 10 out of 10. You guys, it's the summer. It's July. I hope everyone had a super safe 4th while recognizing that we are on stolen land. And I guess in the 4th of July case, we stole it from the British.
We
Is
stole
that what people
ourselves
mean when they
from
say
the
stolen
British?
land? What?
We stole ourselves from the British. We said we're leaving.
Right. But they were just taxing us without representation, so it wasn't their land. Correct.
So we took back the money from them. We said, we're not paying you that anymore. I just had to pay my quarterly taxes.
That tea goes in the harbor.
God,
you know
they're
what?
so
I will
proud
tell
of
you.
that in Boston.
Talking about taxation and representation, I was in front of my house today and there were all these DWP workers. And I got a text from Alicia, my Pilates instructor. She texted me, she goes, I'm here and there are boys. And so I like poke my head outside. I'm like, what do you mean boys? And it's all these guys in like their worker vests and they got a big old truck. And I was like, and I see it says DWP. I was like, are you here to fix the power in my ancient neighborhood? And the guys were really nice and like really chatty. And they were like, yeah, that's what we're here to do. And I was like, you don't understand. Like, we've written letters. Like, we have little children and we live in a nice house in a like I pay through the nose. I am taxed so heavily and we live on like a donkey trail of a street in a neighborhood and the power goes out in our house often. And I know people are like, so what? People don't have running water. Like the tax level is just too high for this to be happening. And these are nice homes. And it is an older area, but like we have wires coming out of our houses. Like it is ancient and decrepit. And when you have little children and it's 95 degrees outside and the power goes out, you start to get really angry at your representatives. And we called, okay, we made a note, and they wouldn't for 4 years. We've been like contacting them and they're like, oh, it should be okay. There's a program that we can, because there is this thing in LA. I think if you have children, they'll come and look at your area. Cause like you can't have them. We had to buy a generator, which is ridiculous. It's not like we live in a rural area where there's like hurricanes. And I was just like, oh, the city doesn't listen to me because they're so busy dumping billions of dollars into the pockets of people pretending to fix the homeless issue. And he goes, we're here to fix it. He goes, are you the one that called? And I was like, it was us. It wasn't me. It was Noah. But 4 years later, the civic process has worked.
That's really exciting. Do you know when they're going to be done?
I don't care. I don't care if they ever leave, as long as they're working on it.
That's so great, though. That's exciting.
Ancient power lines.
I can't
We're talking
believe
like the
it.
first phone was probably developed on my street, and that's where those power lines came from.
Probably.
Anyway, that was cool. And then one of the guys was cute, and Alicia like tried to get his number. So more updates on that later.
What do you mean tried? She didn't?
I think she did, but she was like, because I was like, if you guys want tickets to the Comedy Store or whatever, and so she went out to like facilitate it because I'm not gonna like whatever. And then she was like, I got his number, but he seemed married. I'm like, only one way to find out: stalk the wife, kill her, assume her position.
Ugh. Honestly,
Generac.
if you're married to a DWP, can they fix your stuff on their own, like without being assigned by the county? Do you know what I mean? Like, if he was your husband,
No.
could he have fixed it sooner?
If he's an electrician, sure, but I think you need like city equipment and a crew.
Okay.
I don't think they're like bringing their own copper wires.
Well, because my dream is to marry a veterinarian.
What gender?
I don't care. I just want a veterinarian who can fix my cats.
Cat? Your ailing cats?
So that there's a skill, a service being brought to the table.
So you'll marry anyone as long as they're a veterinarian.
Yes. They have to know cats though. They can't be like, I just do lizards.
What a weird job. Like doing open heart surgery on a lizard.
The one guy I didn't like at my old vet in LA who was like very rude did bunnies. I was like, why are you the bunny guy? You're rude.
That's the biggest of the small animals that we can get. Anything smaller than that, I'm like, I don't know. It's a hamster. I don't know.
I know. With a hamster, you're going to get hamster surgery. Somebody can't get in there. Like, it's over.
You can't. Oh, my aunt is sick. My beetle. All right.
Help. My partner smells. Hey, Iliza, Emily, and crew, please play the Hot Scotty song.
Hot Scotty number one, Hot Scotty. Hot Scotty number two, Hot Scotty.
Longtime fan and listener of the pod, I can confidently say this question has never been asked before, and I'll admit the subject is a bit dramatic, but I wanted to get your attention, lol. Well, it worked, so good work. I, 32 female, been with my boyfriend, 33 male, about 2.5 years now. He is an unbelievable partner, cares for me, loves me deeply. We have such a strong relationship, and I'm just as attracted to him as I was the day we met. The only thing that's been bothering me a bit is that sometimes he has an odor. It's not very strong, but it's noticeable when we're close. He has impeccable hygiene, showers every day, brushes his teeth twice a day, so I know it's not that. I will also add that about a year ago, I started noticing the smell, and I did mention to him and thought it might be a dentistry issue. He went to the dentist, and they did indeed find a filling that was a bit rotted and had to be replaced. Super smeller over here, apparently. But this is a different odor, and I don't think it's specifically from his mouth. I love this detective work. It isn't strong enough to repel me, and I still love being intimate with him, but I would like it to go away. How do I bring it up to him without offending him or making him insecure about it, since it's not a hygiene thing? He already went to a professional about it once. Whenever he puts on cologne, I compliment him and tell him he smells nice, but it's not reasonable to expect him to put it on all the time.
Sure.
Do I just need to accept that this is how he smells sometimes and let it go? Any advice? Thanks, Anonymous.
So it's sometimes?
So it's within the last, sometimes he has an odor. It's not very strong. It's noticeable when we're close.
But wait.
Yeah.
Sometimes. So I think
Sometimes.
you need to do the research. Did he work out, then shower, and like it's still wafting off? Is it after he eats certain foods? Like there has to be a through line, or it's just his pheromones. Like it's just his smell.
If it had been going for less time, I would have wondered, like, are you pregnant? Because that can make you react if it. But
also, does he take medication?
Good question. I
Some
wonder about
medications.
clothing.
It could be the clothes, the medication. And it could just be like, you ever meet a boy and you're just like, oh my, like you just love the way he smells, even if he's stinky. Like you're just so attracted to him. You can be very in love with someone and just not have that feeling about the way that they smell. It's a thing that happens. So I think you need to rule out he's not taking medication. You're saying it's a body odor. Like it's not
She's
because
not
of the deodorant. Like
sure.
it's his skin.
She's not sure. She's saying he's very clean. He showers, he brushes his teeth. That's not making it go away. The last time she pinpointed it was the mouth. She was like, I think that's a mouth thing. He went, it was a mouth thing. I want to flag that I had clothes that were in my drawers. I would pull them out and they would have gone from the washer, dryer into my drawers. And then there was a smell. I put a dehumidifier in my closet. Now that doesn't happen. Like I'm wondering if it's something like that.
Could be your clothes. You really need to do some olfactory detective work because I'm a super smeller as well. It could be he's not showering well. You're like a wet dog.
Oh.
What is that body wash? Is it like a rock he's rubbing? Is it real? And when he brushes his teeth, I mean, if it was coming from his mouth, you would know that versus a body odor. So that's what I'm unclear on. He might not be great at brushing his teeth. He may not floss. It also could be a pheromone thing. And I don't think it's unreasonable. If this man wants to have sex with you, he's got to put on some kind of Axe deodorant body spray or something. Trust me. When you think a man is stinky, he will do anything to be intimate with you. So it sounds like you need to do a little bit more work. And I would look into that medication thing because that could make you stinky.
Yeah, I think the fact that the cologne covers it, if he has cologne, it's all good. So it's not super strong.
It could just be, I'm saying like, it could just be his smell is just, you don't love it. The good news is when you kiss, you could breathe through your mouth. You won't smell him.
You got to test him naked. You got to test him with clothes. You got to test his smell after a meal. You got to test it,
And
keep
is
a
it
notebook.
his skin? Is it with clothes on? Does his penis smell?
I don't think
Is he not washing well? I don't know because we don't know where it's coming from. If you're saying it's his mouth, that's not his body.
not
So
mouth. It's
you
not
got to do
mouth.
some serious clinical research and come back.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we support you. Hey, AI crew. I've been a long time listener, listening to every episode of the pod. You are obviously my favorite comic. I got to see you in DC and at the Daughters of the Revolution.
Such a good venue. Oh my God.
Here's my dilemma. I'm a 42-year-old female dating a 41-year-old male for the last 6 years. We are incredibly compatible. We love rock climbing together, being outdoors, and generally have gotten along in a positive, healthy way since our first date. I mean, we have been best friends since. For context, we were both active duty military. I was an officer my whole career, and he was a senior enlisted service member when I met him. Our work never combined. He is now a civilian and retired from the Army, so it's not an issue. I am still active duty and working as a doctor. Our military job was never part of our relationship, and since he was in the process of retiring, we continued to date after meeting. This is a big deal to some, but he was exiting the military, so we kept dating. Okay, so clearly there's a big stigma, I guess, about being in the military together and dating. But then they were not, and she wants you to know.
Okay.
We were both previously married. I was married twice and divorced. He was married once and divorced. We both were married 10 years. My previous marriages dealt with infidelity. My husband slept with a prostitute while deployed, and the other husband spent years making fun of me, gaslighting me, and making me feel small. My partner, Chris, was married too. They divorced after 10 years because he didn't want children despite his wife wanting them. He speaks kindly of her, and she seems like a nice person. It seems like a healthy split.
Right.
My partner, Chris, there's a typo. It says my partner, Christ. My partner, Christ, is incredibly loving and supportive to me, but he does not want to talk about marriage. He says he is mine for life and expresses this often. His actions speak that as well.
Got it.
He says he wants to marry me, but it's been 6 years.
But he said he doesn't.
So he doesn't want to talk about it. So clearly when she brings it up, he's like, no. But he's like, oh, yeah, I want to marry you. But it's been 6 years. At first, I thought it was because he wasn't fully retired from the military and wanted to wait till it was governmentally official. I also align with his goals. I'm not wanting or planning on having children. Over a year has passed, not a single proposal. We bought a house together. He helped me take care of my dying father together in our home. We share 3 dogs. That is an obvious commitment. I'm not sure why he hesitates at marriage and stalwarts me. Even when I bring it up jokingly or with slight probing, he shuts down or avoids it completely. I have verbalized this, and it is still met with a wall or minimum excitement at best. I promise I'm not a hideous troll, and we get along great. He just doesn't make it a priority. It bothers me because he just completed regional airlines pilot training and now will be gone all the time with a girlfriend, not a wife. Respectfully, thanks for your insight. Not anonymous. Scream it to the hills. Shannon. So Shannon and Christ need some help.
Shannon, well, obviously, since you were cheated on, that is part of why you're like, if I'm your wife, you won't cheat on me, which we know isn't true. But you want to be married. And I don't think it feels like a bad reason to want to get married. You love someone. That's a very logical, normal thing to do. He doesn't want to get married because he's thinking, why buy the cow when I have all these milkshakes and they're all free? And I've already been married and I kind of messed that up. And we're already doing, like, he's just kind of like the guy attitude of like, we're already doing all the stuff. What does it matter? And the truth is it does matter, and it matters to you. I feel weird saying PTSD to someone in the military, but for relationship PTSD reasons and for very normal reasons, you want this person to be your husband. But the idea that he won't cheat on you simply because you're married, your thing is like, if everyone knows he has a wife, then it's like a little bit more of a barrier to entry. But I think you need to examine that. Do you want to get married because you think then he won't cheat on you? Or do you want to get married because you love this person so much and you want to be his wife? Let's say it's because you want him to be your wife. You want to be his wife. I think this is a real shit or get off the pot moment. The question is, are you fine to live the next 6 years or 10 years with a man who loves you, but like you don't really have, I'm not going to say proof because you bought a house together, but are you okay to be with a man who won't even talk to you about his feelings? Can you live with that? Can you be cool if you knew he was committed to you and he like promised God as Christ, he was like, I will be with this woman. Would it be enough, or do you need to get married, and why? So that's what you have to ask yourself. And it does, my bigger issue, and this is when we get questions like this, is that he won't talk about it. Not that he won't marry you. Because if he sat down and he was like, I'm really afraid and da-da-da, these are things that you also have to take into consideration, that it may just not be his lifestyle choice, but frankly, this should have been a discussion already. So I think you need to make a big deal. You don't have to be, you can create the space and sit down, but how he reacts to this is the bigger issue. Because these are your feelings, they're very valid, and you're dying to know what his reasons are. And I think you have to say, like, this is incredibly important to me that we talk about this. No matter what it is, I'll still love you, but I need to know why you feel this way. And you need to know how I feel.
Yes, because you say you've been really honest with him about wanting to be married, but have you been honest with him about how him just shirking it doesn't make you forget? You're not a baby with like object impermanence. You still remember that was a conversation you wanted to have. I think the sticky area we get into is when you say, I don't want him to be a pilot with only a girlfriend at home. Right. I think we set that aside. That's not why you want to marry. If that is why you want to marry him, that's a problem. I mean, you know, it's harder to defend to him. If you just want to
Because
get
that
married,
means you don't trust him. And he's like, what did I ever do? I'm not your ex-husband. You don't want to fall into that.
But you own a house together. I mean, there's probably certain legal protections that being married would help if he's flying, especially like what's your will situation? There are all these things
How
that are
many
just
free Southwest flights do you get?
yeah, as a girlfriend, you get the free flights.
Make sure you bring up object impermanence when you're arguing so he knows exactly what you're talking about.
But he can't just not have this conversation. It's like, it's been 6 years. I'm sorry, like you keep you don't want to, we're talking about it because I don't want to. Now, I think this is not a situation where you're going to leave if he doesn't give you what you want. So you don't really have an alternative. You can't force him.
You don't want to threaten him, but
no,
you have to ask yourself, am I okay if this man is like, I never want to talk about it? Like that door is closed. Is that the relationship you want to be in? Let us know.
If he said, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to do it, I think that's at least an answer. Right now, he's like, yeah, I'd love to marry you. No, I don't want to talk about it right now. That's maddening.
It's weird that he's like, I do want to marry because he's like, I'll just do it one day. Like it's kind of on his own timeline. I just think it's weird to be like, I don't want to talk about it. Like that's not an answer. No. Sorry. We share a home. You have to talk to me about everything.
And 3 dogs.
You're in the military and like it's all like stiff upper lip, but like we're out of the military now, so it's time to get personal.
Our dogs need to be ring bearer.
Yeah.
Hi, Eliza and Emily. I love you both. Eliza, I was at your show in Ottawa, Canada in 2022. Sorry, CBSA took your hand cream. You seem pretty peeved about it. LOL.
I probably was.
Do you remember 4 years ago when they took your hand cream?
It's weird to me that I ever had hand cream, but yeah, that's bullshit.
I know.
Break.
I am a 29-year-old mixed female, black and white. Let me cut to the chase. My dad is a bad gift giver. He is a wonderful and kind person. He is retired and has recently gotten into Facebook Marketplace, Kijiji, Canadian thrifting app, and the apps for discount food. He is not hurting financially, just frugal, which is fine, just painting a picture. On to the issue. He struggles with gifting because he will buy things for myself, my partner, family members that are either tacky, broken, or have nothing to do with the person. For my most recent birthday, I was gifted an ugly ceramic teapot that was cracked and a Lazy Susan that is not level. For the record, I'm not a tea person and I have arms, so I can just pass the item, giving no need for a Lazy Susan.
No, a Lazy Susan is awesome.
Then for Christmas, it was 2 ugly purses. I do not carry a purse. Also, he keeps dropping teapots at my house. Even an old brass one I refused was then regifted to my 12-year-old niece who didn't want it. He recently met a woman on Facebook Marketplace who makes all of this stuff in her garage, and he keeps buying it and giving it to us. I don't want it.
Likes her. Yeah.
Oh yeah, those he's just buying to get in with her. He will even ask me what kind of things I like, then completely disregard. I don't know what to do. This is causing issues in my relationship with my boyfriend, who's a common law husband who I live with. Please help me. What do I do? Before you say the obvious that I should accept the gift because you'll be dead soon, when that time comes, I want to look back at thoughtful items, not broken garbage trash.
That's not what I was going to say.
Trash. Hold on. Also, I know I'm an adult and my parents don't need to buy me anything, but if I'm given a gift, I want to be able to use it, not store it till I can get rid of it. I do say thanks, but no thanks, but it's not stopping. I live in a 1-bedroom condo and don't have much storage space. I feel like after knowing my whole life, he forgets anything about me when gifting. I'm hoping you guys can help me nudge my dad in a better gifting direction. And then she included a couple photos, so I'm going to share my screen to see.
You got to show these to people. Like we can crop out all the other info. Like this stuff is higgledy-piggledy, kind of like weird.
It's just like, the purse is very like,
the purse
looks
is
like you bought it in a
hibiscus
beach town
with like a bamboo handle.
A
like
bamboo
it's very
handle.
tropical.
It's very tropical.
How Ottawa is like really tropical. And then what is that? A polished stone?
A lump. I assume this is what that woman he likes makes.
Oh, she does like resin art over wood.
I assume it looks like
There's
that,
too much of
where
that
it's
in the
like,
world.
it's so specific that unless you know someone likes it, it's just not,
No one
not a
does.
good gift. No one
does. Every farmer's market is like, I do resin art and make cutting boards. Like, we're good. How is it that everyone has found this weird passion for this art that never looks that nice?
Yeah.
You have 2 options. One, you sit him down. Because I bet it's always been like, oh, dad, I don't love this. Da, 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 and you kind of like brush by it. There is this thing with parents where like they kind of just are going to do what they're going to do. Like I just started my newsletter Slow Sunday and my mom keeps calling it Soft Sunday. Like they're just going to do it. Just like how my stepmom always calls my dog a boy. She's a girl.
Oh, Richard's a girl?
Richard Machine is a girl. If you can marry a non-gender specific vet, she can be a girl. She can be a boy. You got to sit him down. And knowing that this may not matter, but at least you will have been hurt. And you have to be like, I have to tell you something because I love you and I don't want you to waste your money. I really don't ever want gifts off Facebook Marketplace. You have to just say it without worrying about his feelings. A lot of the items are used or cracked, and I think you get excited to buy them, but I do just give them away. And so if the purpose is because gift giving feels good, I'd be happy to tell you something I need for a special occasion. That being said, I don't need anything, but I do not want any of this stuff. I don't want anything. You have to just say it because it's your dad. If it were like a different relative, that's kind of awkward, but this is your father and he loves you. And then when he ultimately does not listen, you have to be prepared to be like, thanks. And then toss it away or give it away. Because this stuff is garbage and was probably going to the garbage anyway. It's sad that he's wasting his money, but you owe it to him to be like, I don't want any of it. It's not my style. It ends up just being given away or going to the garbage, and it's a waste of your money. So if you do want to buy me something, I'd love to point you in the right direction. That being said, like I don't require any gifts, but you have to say it to him. I know you're Canadian and very polite. You have to say it to him.
So our Canadian has told him, like, here's what I want instead. I wonder if it's fair to, at this point, say, when you buy things that are so far outside the bounds of my life, it actually hurts my feelings because it makes me feel like you don't know me.
It makes me feel like you don't know me. It's actually a bigger burden because now you've given me something that A, I didn't want, B, I didn't ask for, and C, is of poor quality. So now I'm tasked with getting rid of it. And I'm curious why you're buying these things. I think he enjoys going on Facebook and he is thinking like, oh my God, I bet she'd love it. So that's tough because he really was thinking like, it's a purse, you're a girl. And be like, Daddy, I do not want you to waste your money, but these things are not great. And there's a reason they're on Facebook Marketplace. Not that it's not a great place, resource for buying some stuff, but so I just need you to hear it and I don't want to hurt your feelings.
Right. Well, okay. I get the thrill of like finding a good deal on something used. Like I get it. I love it. I love to buy something off of like a forum. I wonder if she knows him well enough to know he won't become a hoarder, he could get into flipping where he goes to thrift stores and stuff and digs through and he looks for things that are valuable. Like you learn an area, you learn about old books or you learn about what has silver or you learn an area.
I think that's a lot.
Well, if this man is just buying crap, at least have him go buy some valuable crap.
He's also your dad. So he's a man and you're a woman. And like, if it were my parent, I'd be like, let's go through the last few items. And I genuinely want to know like what you think. And he'll be like, that purse, well, you had mentioned once that you like flowers. Like I bet there are connections, albeit tenuous, to these things. Men often buy their wives jewelry and clothes. And you're just like, I guess. Like, you can't fault him for having bad taste and doing his best, but it is your fault if you do not tell him straight up to his face, I don't like these things. I love you, but none of these things are my style. And a lot of them are broken. And I don't know if you realize that. I just have to tell you. Like, you just got to get it out.
Giving her 2 purses one year is wild when she doesn't use a purse at all. To be like,
I don't
here's
think men
2.
think about that.
What are you going to do with 2?
I don't think men think about that. So many women have 50 purses, have 100 purses. Like, and
but
you're like, I
at
don't carry a
once.
purse. My dad doesn't know that. My parents don't know I don't carry it. My husband probably doesn't even know I don't carry a purse. Like it is, like when you're little, your parents know everything about you. And as you get older, I think it's hard for understand, like our parents don't know about our everyday habits. They only know the bad things that we do. This all being said, I have definitely dealt with something similar to this. And I never said anything because this is not a parent. And you just say thanks. And then you give it to your cleaning lady.
Mm-hmm.
Although in this case, I don't know anyone who would want any of that. So that's kind of offensive.
I know all this stuff is true trash.
You just dump it at a church, take it to Goodwill, which does create more work for you. But I think if your dad knew that it was creating more work and not liked, he might stop. Or you stack it all up and you make a big monster, like a big garbage homuncula, and then you gift it back to him at the end of the year. What do you think about that?
Well, the problem is she's like, I'm in a 1-bedroom condo. I don't want a resin serving tray.
Dad, I live in a 1-bedroom condo. A lot of the stuff you give me kind of just ends up as clutter. It's not my style. I didn't ask for it. So I ask that you not give me any gifts unless I really need something, because it's really making my life a lot harder.
Yes. Okay. I'm very excited about this next question because our question asker is so secure, so anonymous that they wrote in from like an email I think they created just for doing anonymous things based on the web server they use. And I was like, haha, you got this. Hi, ladies. I'm a married gay man in my mid-40s, and I met a straight married man in his late 40s at our kids' soccer game. He is not my typical type, and truly I wasn't looking, but from the moment we met, there was an immediate pull that felt unusually intense and familiar. When he introduced me to his wife, I actually laughed out loud because when I first met him, I thought he was gay and was excited to meet another gay dad. We exchanged numbers, and since then, he's invited me to things multiple times, gone out of his way to spend time with me, and had several moments with me that felt more charged than normal friendship, but nothing crossing the line. He's physically warm and seems to want to keep finding ways to extend our time together or meet again. Our meetups have been innocent, a run, coffee, to see a show he produced, drinks, etc. At the same time, nothing has been clearly stated, and sexuality hasn't been discussed.
You're like, we went to see Devil Wears Prada 2 and we got Appletinis.
In person, the energy feels obvious. Over text, it gets much more ambiguous. Sometimes he seems really drawn in, and other times he goes quiet, and I wonder if I imagined all of it, or if he's pulling back because he doesn't know what to do with the feelings he has. We both have high-powered careers. I'm in law, and he's well-known in entertainment. And we're both very busy. But I make time for him.
Oh.
Not to toot my own horn, but I'm an attractive guy that gets approached by both men and women often. I don't give anyone else the time of day. Now, Iliza, remember, this man is married.
The gay guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm normally very confident and outspoken, but I get shy around him and can barely make eye contact. He probably thinks I'm a weirdo, but he's kind of weird too. All of that to say, seeking others isn't my modus operandi. He's special, and I'm deeply attracted to his humor and intellect. I've been married for over 10 years, and my marriage is fine. I believe he's been married for around the same length of time, and his marriage seems fine. Despite both of our marriages seeming fine, we both got married later in life, and I don't want to say settled, but found someone who we could have children with and check that societal box.
Okay.
I keep asking myself, is this a meaningful connection, a flirtation that can never go anywhere, nothing at all, or an affair waiting to happen? Given his position in society, his marriage, his friend group, etc., I'm not sure if he'd ever admit his feelings for me, to me, or even to himself. My hope is that he will, and we can figure out these feelings slowly together. He travels often for work, and I feel like the only way I'd know for sure he has similar feelings is if he invited me to come along, or obviously if he just comes out and says it to me. My questions are, how do you tell the difference between this is just chemistry/fantasy and this is actually mutual and meaningful? I'm always the one to text or call first, but he typically responds. Does that mean he doesn't have similar feelings? How do you not drive yourself crazy when no one has said the quiet part out loud? I appreciate you ladies and love listening to the podcast. Sorry for a long email. I'm a lawyer. Sincerely, M, the lovesick lawyer.
He's like, you will be billed for the time it took me. M, I think the fact that you always reach out, like in straight dating, like if I were a girl and I was dating and a boy, I always texted him, everyone would be screaming like he's not into you. But he likes you, like as a person.
I can't believe we're it doesn't matter what's up with this guy. What's up with your marriage? You're acting like you're single. Well, you're acting like you're totally unencumbered. You're like, oh, let's see where this flirtation goes. You're not factoring in that you're married at all into your, oh, maybe he and I will just take a while. What does that do to your husband?
I don't think there's anything wrong with having a crush. And I think meeting him, whether he's gay or not, has brought out these middle-aged feelings that are very normal of like, is this the marriage I want? Like, I've done the thing. I had the kids. Now what? Which is a very normal feeling for people to have. And it's always healthy to re-examine your life. And there's a version where like you leave your husband and you're like, oh my God, this was the only guy for me. And he wasn't the most exciting, but he was the right guy for me. I don't think there's anything wrong with having a crush. I don't think there's anything wrong with innocent flirting or fantasizing about it or even walking yourself right up to that line. But it seems like you would take it further.
The line we're at is, he said in his email, my hope is that he will admit his feelings for me and we can figure out these feelings slowly together. So are you two unraveling those feelings while your husband is with your children at home?
And also, are you okay with like this straight guy figuring out his feelings? Like just because you're gay and maybe he's closeted doesn't mean you're the gay guy for him. You don't want to be the guy that he practices on and then you blow up your life because he was this like forbidden fruit you were in love with. I do wonder if look, he could be gay and you guys had a connection, but it's also not like your gaydar is not right all the time. And like, I've definitely been friends with lesbians who are really aggressively flirty with me and I give off zero sign that I'm into it. And like, they just keep doing it. And you're just like, this is actually like making me uncomfortable. And so maybe that's why he doesn't initiate text. We'd have to read the text. I think for the sake of your marriage, if you care about it, but that's a whole other thing, you let this alone. This is a straight guy who is not tokenizing you because you're gay. He's treating you like a human being. He wants to hang out. And you're like, wow, you're straight and hanging out with me. And I think you're hot. This has got to be something. When in actuality, he's treating you just the way he would any other dad that he met.
Or he's totally flirting with you because he loves attention and he's getting so much attention because you think he's the coolest man ever.
Which
and why
goes
wouldn't
back
he
to what
want
I was
that?
saying at the beginning, which is like, do you want to be, not this guy's practice, but like, do you want to be there just to like pump up his ego? He never reaches out to you.
Yeah.
So maybe he is gay, in which case you don't want him to practice on you, and you're like, yeah, you can fucking practice on me. But it will like blow up your life. I just wonder if all things are equal here. And it's okay to fantasize and it's okay to like flirt when you do talk. But the fact that he never reaches out, if he was into you, he would be reaching out.
But I also wonder if you can look at this as like an indication that there's an area of your life that you're not happy with, regardless of whether this guy is gay or straight. You clearly aren't fulfilled in your marriage. You're saying you kind of settled to check these boxes. Would it be so bad to like be single and look for someone that does make you feel the way that this straight married man does?
Well, let me ask you this too. Like, are you with your husband because it's good enough and you're like, I don't want to be single?
What's it called? Monkey branching? It's monkey something, where somebody never breaks up with the last person until they've already got the next person on the hook. So they're already flirting with the next person before they'll break up so that they're never alone.
Yeah. But also, you've been married 10 years. And so it's not, of course, the rose is off, the bloom is off the rose. And of course, it's not as fun. And of course, this is sexy. And I think these are all very normal middle-aged things. In fact, I'm writing a show about it. But there's a big difference between flirty and sexy and fun and like being genuinely unhappy in your marriage. And you're like, I'm not unhappy, but I'm realizing that like this person's more fun until you're married to this guy for 10 years.
Yeah, this guy who's going to go cheat on you. But
I would take a big deep breath and a big step back, and I would assess your marriage as it is without this variable.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
And you probably continue to be in that marriage because it's like fine. And like, what if this straight guy called you today and he was just like, I do have feelings for you, but I'm not leaving my wife and I'm never going to act on this stuff? Then you're like, what? You're going to insist that you do? You're going to leave your husband anyway?
Yeah, I think you don't just have like a young guy. This guy's in his late 40s. He has a position of some prominence. It's a lot of things working against him suddenly coming out at this point in his life and giving up whatever image he has built for himself.
And by the way, he's probably never going to come out because so many actors and people in entertainment are gay. And like on a certain like subterranean level, like that's just known, but like he's never going to come out like that. So you'll never be together. And I think you're like, who cares? We could just have sex and hang out. Maybe, but that means you're throwing away you're throwing away your marriage for a dalliance, or you're cheating on your husband with this hot guy who is not going to be with you. It will not be spiritually fulfilling.
Yeah.
So there's that too. you're all in and he's just like, whatever.
Yeah, I don't see a scenario where you come out of this feeling particularly good. As fun as the flirting is, there's not a lot of ways where just everything works out perfectly if you go down this road.
The other version is like you tell him how you feel and he's like, I don't feel that way. That's really weird that you told that to me. Or he's like, thank you so much for your email. Thank you for this text. I don't feel the same way. And then you're just like, oh, then you're going to be like a little ashamed. You can't help the way that you feel, but I think you need to contextualize it better. Like, is this real or is this just because you're bored?
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope you find the answer. I hope he doesn't use you. And I hope that you are able to get to a place where you feel good.
Hi, Ask Iliza Pod. Longtime listener, first time questioner. I love your smart and direct advice. So I knew this was the place to go for this question. The friend I'm asking about listens to multiple podcasts, and I have a feeling she enjoys this one, so I'll have to be a little vague.
Ooh, I love it.
Sadly, this friend of 30 years has had a very busy and rough past few years. Son was diagnosed with a neurological disorder. They've moved states twice in the last 5 years. Her husband had a traumatic brain hemorrhage recently. Okay, if this is you, you know it's you, and you listen to this podcast, you know that this is about you.
Yeah, no one's like, those things did happen to me, but I bet it's someone else.
She has taken it all in stride as best as she can, but I fear she is at a bit of a breaking point. I don't blame her. Aside from that, she still maintained being a super mom of 3 amazing kids. My question, in recent conversations, I've noticed her starting to focus on what other people are not doing for her and her family. She will say, when such and such friend was sick, I did this, and I haven't even received a card or phone call from them. Or another time, she mentioned how she had sent money to others, but has not received a penny from either her parents, in-laws, or no one has set up a GoFundMe for my family. Her husband has been very lucky and has recovered for the most part quickly. He was back to work in 8 weeks or so, makes very good money, and has investments in stocks worth a lot. I have asked her what I can do to help, and she doesn't give me much of an answer.
Because she wants you to just set up a GoFundMe.
Yeah. While she will do very nice things for others, it seems she's in the mentality of, I scratched your back, why aren't you scratching mine? Is there a nice way of telling my friend her expectations on others is a little high, or do you think she's trying to subliminally say something to me? P.S. I check in with this friend every week, have sent cards, offered to take her kids while she will be in town in a few weeks, or do some girl time if needed. Thank you so much for your advice. Another M. We had M the lawyer and now M the friend.
What's the question here?
So the question is, this friend keeps saying to me is getting so negative, is just talking about what other people aren't doing for her. Like, is there a nice way of telling her, hey, that's not what friendship is?
I don't know that. I know that feels really shitty if you were always there for people and everybody. That's the other thing. The reason I don't think she's right is because it seems odd that you've done all of these amazing things and not one person has done it back, or have people stepped up, but there are a few key people who you expected more from. Or did they step up, but it wasn't in the way that you wanted?
The GoFundMe.
It sounds like she wants money, and it sounds like she wants the GoFundMe, and it sounds like I think you need to point blank be like, are you wanting me to set up a GoFundMe for you?
I would argue comfortable doing that, because here's the thing. If this man makes really, really, really good money, they have investments, they have stocks and bonds. A GoFundMe isn't just to keep you from having to ever pay anything. It's for someone who does not have the capital to pay.
Well, that's the other thing too. I'm like, she gave money to people. It doesn't seem like this. I think for her, it's the reciprocity of effort. Although I mean, you also don't like, it seems like if your money's tied up in stocks, your money's not liquid. We don't really know.
No, but if somebody has $1 million in stocks, they can't be asking me for $100 for their surgery
I'm saying
fund.
This woman has an obsession with fairness, and she's complaining to you. And the truth is, I'm saying, you'll be like, do you want me to set up a GoFundMe? And she'll be like, no, that's not what I'm saying. And then you kind of need to be like, okay, well, it's just, you mention it a lot. You're annoyed because she's complaining. You're annoyed because this woman, who you actually don't need to be friends with because she does not live in your state, and she's a mother of 3. I'm like trying to find my answer, because like what I would do is just stop texting this friend. That's me. That just seems, I know it seems like I'm really harsh about it, but like it just seems really annoying. People get dealt shitty hands. And the truth is, as human beings, we only have so much capacity, especially as friends. This is not your mother. This is not your daughter or your sister. You only have so much bandwidth to hear somebody belly aching. And yes, those are awful things to happen, but what are you realistically expected to do here? And you've given what you can. What you are capable of giving is, I will take your kids, I'll do this, but it's not enough for her.
Our question asker is giving and giving, giving. Our question asker is doing all the right things, checking in, offering, not just asking what I can do, but making offers of taking the kids. So, but then instead of, it seems like, I wonder as well, instead of getting a thank you, you're a good friend, she's getting, why isn't anybody doing anything for me?
Right. She's miserable. Your friend's miserable. She's stuck in her own misery. And I hate to say this to you. It actually doesn't matter how much you give of yourself, because she will forever be focused on the areas where she wasn't helped by certain people. So you're just kind of this like emotional punching bag. So you either need to pull back from this friend, or you need to say to her point blank, I feel like you're really focused on the GoFundMe. You know, I feel like you're really focused on the GoFundMe. And she'll be like, no, I just didn't. And then you could be like, is there a way that you're feeling you weren't supported? Like, I feel like getting her talking about it, you can say to her, I feel like I'm a really supportive friend, but you bring it up a lot. So I'm wondering if you don't feel supported by me, because of course I love you. And that might get her, because she's kind of stuck in a loop. And like, this is the thing she complains about. And her cousin, her mom, and her best friend, this other girl, didn't give money. And so she's talking to you about it. And what you're saying is like, but I am here and I'm giving what I can. And I think it's important for you to say that. And be like, you know, people all give in ways that they can. And some people aren't financially well off. She'll be like, well, yeah, they are. And you'll be like, okay, well, like me, for example, like all I can, I mean, like you're coming to visit and I offered to like watch your kids, and it feels like you're so upset at all these other things. And so I'm wondering if there's something that you're feeling you're missing from me. Like, give her a chance to say like, yeah, well, I really wish you would whatever. But like, she's feeling alone and she's feeling overwhelmed. And she sees acts of service as like a monetary thing. She's asking for money for everyone. And like, you can also say to her, be like, GoFundMes really are for people who are on really cannot help themselves. And it seems like you are. So what is that about?
Yeah.
I would just blow it open, not in a shitty way, but like get her to talk about it, because she's stuck repeating the same stuff over and over. And it doesn't even sound like she wants help. People like this, they're just going to be like, no, that's not it. And no, she does have money. Like, people like this know better. They know that my mom could have given money. They know that, oh no, she had the time to do it. Like, they're going to have all the answers. So it's like, well, what do you need me for if you have all the answers?
Yeah. It's hard also when you're there for a friend and they just talk about how everybody else sucks. And you're kind of like, well, I don't. So like, could we stop go talk to them?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you bring up the GoFundMe a lot. Like,
go ask your friends for money, bitch. Go beg.
Be like, if you want to ask your friends for money, you should set up a GoFundMe. It's for your husband, but you're not going to, it's a bad look because you guys have money. Yeah. I think she's obsessed with reciprocity, and I get that. I'm a very like, in my adulthood, I've just learned to like give and not expect anything back, but like she hasn't learned that lesson yet.
I was talking about something similar in therapy. We were getting into like that I really need things to be fair, and it really bothers me if other people are treated differently. And I told her, I said to a boss once, like, I would rather I get no raise and no recognition, and someone who isn't doing what they're supposed to be doing gets in trouble.
Oh, the savoring someone, even if we both get punched in the face, savoring how much it will hurt the other person.
My therapist's like, this is good to know. This really fits in. We'll work on, and I'm like, I'm glad I could give you that piece of my psyche. Like, so I get it, but this
what else you could say to her?
Grubby.
You could be like, this is a great way to know who your real friends are.
Well,
you feel that none of these people are there for you, and I am. So the answer is, what are you going to do now? To move on from this.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is. We all definitely have expectations. I wish the friend was listening to this. It is like a huge part of like human growth. Like, we all have expectations on people, but like, it's not about having less expectations, but it's just like, just know that nobody is going to give the way that you want to. And I bet you there are people in all of our lives who show up for us in better ways, and we can't reciprocate in that same way. Like
Yeah.
my friend, one of my friends she always sets the time for our workout. She always calls the trainer. She always does it. And I never do. And I'm like, I'm never going to be the friend that does that. But I will bring you, but like, I'll try to do it in another way. Like, I don't think she's appreciating the ways that other people have because what she's gone through recently is so shitty. But at the end of the day, never forget, like, people have their own lives and their own problems.
Yes.
And they're dealing with shit. So I'm sorry that you thought everybody was like going to gather around and give you $50,000 each and deliver meals every day. Everybody's fine. Everybody's healthy. I'm sorry your son was dying. Like, but that's for you to deal with. And I'm sure her parents were there. Like, this person sounds like a kvetch. And I would just actually stop being friends with them. It's a fucking headache. Who needs that from 2 states away to call and complain?
Yeah. When you're trying to do your best.
And you have money and he's fine. So if you don't need money, like, what do you really want? And I'm sure people did reach out and it just wasn't good enough.
I feel like that too. I mean, it could be everybody ignored her, but I doubt it. I think she's just really in her head about it.
It's too much. She's overwhelmed. I would answer the phone less if I were you.
Let's go into carbs, starting with bottom.
It's the top with a cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
We're going to just go heavy on bottom because this is a
Heavy
real
bottom.
bottom. Heavy bottom.
We're going to go heavy. Oh, because I have 2 bottoms.
Well, we're going heavy. Then you see what you want to do after.
Okay.
BOTC from the Patreon. Bone cancer, pet cancer, cancer in general, all types. Osteosarcoma got my baby boy. We, parents and I, said goodbye to my first baby, Sammy, today. Hate this so much, but knew it was right to say goodbye before his life was miserable. He was a happy boy all the way to his final moments. I feel like I'll never be okay again, but I know it only feels that way now. And she shared a photo of a dog smiling, just a very happy boy. It's a nice photo, but we know how hard that is.
Yeah. When you said heavy bottom, I thought you were going to like read multiple ones, not that the content was
I meant it was heavy. That's why I said you decide after you hear it what you want to do.
All right. Well, you do yours then, because I'm sure it's pet related.
No, mine is that I was cutting the Patreon from a recent episode. So I was like, downloaded the file. I was watching it back. And I was just like rocking back and forth, like something was wildly wrong with me. And I think what it was is that I was jiggling my leg, but watching my camera, it looks like I'm just like having a hard time. I was oh no. And I was like, what's wrong with me? Do I have a medical thing? Do I have to? And then I realized, I think I'm shaking my leg, but I did have a moment where I was like, am I dying?
Like, why am I oscillating?
Yeah, I think I'm okay.
My bottom of the cob has nothing to do with medical issues, but it's just when you order a product, particularly on Etsy, but it could also just be like an internet Instagram store. You're like, that looks cool. And then you order it and then it's revealed that it's coming from like Denmark. You're like, oh, I don't need it from that far away. Like it's so small. Like I ordered an earring off of Etsy for like $3 and I was like, great. It's like, it's coming from Germany. I'm like, oh my God, like this is going to take so long. And I know we all live like in an Amazonified world, but like I've definitely fallen victim to like Instagram clothes. And I'm like, this looks so cool. And it's like, it's coming from like Guangzhou. It'll be there in 8 weeks. And you kind of don't know that until you check out sometimes. We're coming from like Lithuania. And and also on Amazon, there should be a way to filter out stuff from China. So I can just like buy US made or local, and you can't. And that is basically 99% of Amazon. Yeah. But I just feel like Providence is never like listed at the top because they want you to buy it. And then they're like, it's coming from Holland. You'll have it in 8 to 12 business weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, this figurine of a marshmallow, it's coming in 9 years. You'll have it then.
Good luck. Okay, top of the cob. We got a nice picture. I love when people share pictures. I haven't made macarons in years, but had to make some at work yesterday, and they turned out beautifully. Macaron. They're gorgeous chocolate ones with the chocolate filling and chocolate cookies. That looks good. Good work.
Scrumptious.
Yeah. My top is my parents gave me suitcases when I graduated college. It was like a nice like a carry-on and a check baggage set that went together, and it's lasted me. I mean, I graduated 100 years ago, and it's lasted me, but the handle of the carry-on started to crumble just the rubber of it.
Ooh.
And I was like cutting
Right.
my hands on it the last few times I flew. So I bought myself a new carry-on suitcase and it felt good. I
What'd
was
you
like,
get?
oh, I got a bright red Away hard side carry-on. So
I love that.
so I was like, this is not like I did this is something I'm going to have for another 10, 15 years. So I was like, this is a nice thing when it arrived. The wheels are so smooth. Nothing's cutting my hand open. It has a lock, a TSA lock.
Away luggage. We won't cut your hand open. I love that you got red. I passed the away luggage store the other day and they had like all like lavender and like neon green. And I was like, ooh, I have so much luggage, but it did scratch that itch. I'm like, ooh, do I want matching luggage?
Yeah.
My top of the cob is a Friday workout. There is something about working out on a Friday, finishing it, and you're like, that's when the weekend starts. Like there's just something that feels invigorating about a Friday workout. And that's it. I just love finishing the workout. You feel like extra healthy, extra sunny. You're like, I've done my work and now I can begin. Because the weekend's ahead of me versus like it's a Wednesday and I'm just going to go put on my pajamas and go write some more.
Yeah.
It just feels
Yeah.
summery and good. A Friday
Yeah.
workout in the summer. It's like school's out.
Well, is there anything you want to tell the people for the weekend of July 8th?
I'll tell you what, if you're hearing this right now, if you're listening right now from your device where fine podcasts are sold, I will be at, you know what? It's sold out.
Okay. Well, good luck.
I'll be at Emerald City Comedy Club running my hour in Seattle. But, you know, someone might not show up, so that's always good.
yeah.
I don't have anything. I'm on my summer vacation.
Great. Enjoy.
So if you see me, say hi.